The debate of original source versus the adaptation, whenever it's a live-action animated movie or a serious adaptation of books, comics, manga or pretty much anything that can get a monkey brace going, has been here probably ever since the time someone started building a house based on a pre-made plan. In the debate of anime versus manga, both sides have their own strengths and weaknesses. With manga, you can read at your own pace, you cannot get offended by any voice acting because there is none, and you can basically adjust everything in your head. On the other hand, manga is all in black and white, so it can feel sometimes very bland, including the fact that they are just still images. It's obviously not like this every time. Sometimes you can get some of the most impressive art you could have ever seen in your life, but that's not the case with every manga ever made. With anime though, you can get a beautiful animation, great music, overall great directing, and all that nerd stuff that I don't really care about. It's true that anime adaptations can be badly made, whenever it's bad CG, cutting out stuff from the manga or in some cases light novels, diverging from the manga and creating anime original endings, having weakly animated and directed adaptations all around, but this doesn't make the medium of anime or animation any worse, it's just poorly done adaptation. One of the criticisms anime adaptations tend to get is also time restrictions, because you are bounded to the time of each episode or movie. The main problem of anime adaptations is that not only the viewer is restricted to the actual watch time, the actual adaptation is bounded to the amount of episodes they have to make, and that's not the case with manga at all, because they can go just from 5 chapters to an entire 1000 or beyond that without any problem at all. Well, the only way that manga can get screwed up is on the author's part of fucking up the story, but that's not the problem of manga, that is because they are one big BK. The way the manga is adapted into anime is that they take a certain number of manga chapters and then they mash it into a single episode. The ideal number of manga chapters per episode is somewhere around 3 to 4 if you want pacing that doesn't completely drag out. It of course depends on the length of the actual chapters also. If it's a weekly chapter, then it's somewhere around 20 pages per chapter, and also the actual pacing and paneling of the set chapters. Some new series like My Hero Academia or Jujutsu Kaisen can adapt less chapters per episode because of the actual manga pacing. My Hero adapts somewhere around 2.5 chapters per episode and the pacing in the anime feels pretty fast, but with something like Naruto or Bleach, you get a similar number of chapters per episode, but you get significantly slower pacing anyway, so it makes watching the anime a worse experience than reading the manga. Some more recent adaptations that suffered overall pacing issues are Vinland Saga Season 1 and the currently airing new adaptation of Shaman King. Vinland Season 1 suffered the slow pacing issue because even though the first season adapted the first 8 volumes of the manga, which would be overall a great pacing, considering that JJK manga adapted only the first 7 volumes in its first season, Vinland manga, unlike JJK's or MHA's, is slow paced in nature, so it concludes slow pacing in the adaptation, where the manga was pretty well paced. This also led them adding filler episodes that unnecessarily dragged out the story, giving the adaptation a step down from quality from the manga, well, at least in my eyes anyway. Shaman King 2021 got a little bit of a different treatment than Vinland had. The adaptation of that is in fact too fast to a point that it should at some moment slow down at least for a little bit. The original manga is 288 chapters long, so if they were to adapt it 3 to 4 chapters per episode, the anime would be around 82 episodes, and even if they would adapt it 4 chapters per episode, it would still be around 72. But the Shaman King 2021 anime is supposed to be just mere 52 episodes, leaving at an entire 5.5 chapters per episode. It's actually less than 5.5 chapters, because they are skipping through some of the stuff from the manga or the original anime. I haven't read the manga or watched the first adaptation of Shaman King anime myself, but the pacing still feels rushed even without me knowing anything about it beforehand. But the main question is, why is it like that? Why do we see a series like Vinland Saga getting filler episodes, Meanwhile with Shaman King, we are getting cut out content and rushed pacing. Can't we just get 15 episodes of Vinland with no filler and good pacing, and 85 episodes of Shaman King with all of the original content in it and not so rushed pacing? Well, I did some of research on that on the interwebs, and I feel like I barely scratched the surface of all of this, so by this, I encourage you to do the full research on this for yourself. But essentially, the way that Japanese TV works, because anime is Japanese, is that the seasons are quarterly scheduled, so basically, you only get 13 episodes a season, with 26 episode shows stretching out through an entire 2 seasons. So that's why we're not getting some obscure numbers like 17, 8, 34 or just 5, well, not counting OVAs of course, because these things are different from regular TV shows. We do get 11, 12, 24 or even 25 episode seasons, but overall, it should fit into a season or two anyway. Shaman King is getting 52 episodes in total, making the run of the show stretched out for 4 seasons, or an entire year if you wanna put it like that. But the main reason why anime Japanese studios can't go overboard is that unlike with TV shows in US, where the TV network gets back the money through ads and merchandise, in Japan, studios need to find investors to financially support the show, so anime tends to have lower budget in return. Because of this episode limitation, studios try to fill in the season in a way so it wouldn't end mid-arc or on some random massive cliffhanger, so they have to adjust the pacing for it whenever they would have to slow it down or speed it up. We do get few anime that doesn't necessarily follow this seasonal thing of 11, 12, 13 or 24, 25 and 26 episodes trend. Mobile Suit Gundam and Rurouni Kenshin are few of the exceptions to that, because Gundam got 43 episodes and Rurouni got 94 in a single run. But these shows aired in 80s and 90s, so who knows how different it was before then and how their budget was back in the day. Attack on Titan is a more recent one, where we got a season of 16 episodes, but it is also confirmed that we are getting a final part of the final season that's supposed to have 10 episodes, so in the end both parts should make it as 26 episodes, or maybe this is just my imagination, I don't know, it probably is, or whatever. Jojo parts 4 and 5 received 39 episodes a season, making it run for 2.5 seasons, but since it's Jojo, it's obviously gonna get more investors involved because of the previous following the anime series had, even though in the past part 3 was split into two 24 episode seasons, because even though part 3 of Jojo manga was shorter than both parts 4 and 5, the anime for it was longer and more stretched out, making the adaptation suffer the same pacing issues that Vinland Saga had. So basically the reason for all of these pacing shenanigans is just because of a basic budget issue. So, the conclusion of this video, just go read the fucking manga. Yo, what up gang, it's your boy and I just wanna thank you for watching the entirety of this video. This video is probably the video I am most proud of to this day, so I would really appreciate you guys sharing it wherever you feel like. I'm sorry if I stretched out at the end there talking about anime seasons and stuff, but this topic overall isn't that complex to talk about for too long, so I just try to fill up the time by talking about everything related to this. I also wanna quickly use this time to tell you how are my uploads gonna go for next few weeks. My next upload is gonna be next week on Tuesday the 13th of July probably, and then my next upload after that is gonna be in the same week on Sunday, because for the next 2 weeks I'm going on vacation, so after 18th my next upload is gonna be on the 1st of August, and then it's gonna be pretty much weekly again, or at least I hope so. Anyway, thank you for watching once again, and until next time, see ya later.